Professor Yost back in the building, and in today's video, I'm going to be discussing why you still feel off despite making six figures from your corporate job. Okay? Now, you're probably thinking, I did everything right. I did everything by the books. I did exactly what I was told. I went to college. I got good grades. And then I got a prestigious and or stable job. So you might be asking yourself, why does it feel like my life is getting worse? Okay. Common symptoms that I'm seeing amongst guys that work in corporate: low energy slash drive, right? Our physique is skinny fat, or we have this dad bod situation going on. Okay. We're anxious. We lack self assurance. We're unfulfilled, and we have zero dating prospects. Okay. Right. And all of this is extremely painful because we're a little angry because we did everything we were supposed to do, right? We got the stable job. We're making six figures. So shouldn't I feel highly fulfilled? Shouldn't I feel a high sense of agency? Shouldn't I have a thriving dating life? Okay. Why are all these things occurring? Well, I'm about to tell you why. The problem is that you have low testosterone as a result of a corporate environment coupled with unhealthy coping habits that you use to cope with said corporate environment. Now, I know that's a mouthful, so let me explain, right? First, let's break down your corporate environment, okay? You are sitting minimum 8 hours a day under artificial lights, okay? You are surrounded by a PC corporate culture, a politically correct corporate culture. Now, what I mean by this is you can't show up to work and be your true authentic self. Okay, let's call a spade, okay? You can't tell the risky joke, okay? You can't tell someone to fuck off. You have to behave, so to say, right? Now, I'm not saying this is intrinsically a bad thing, but what this does over time is it strips you away from your natural self, who you truly are deep down as a man, right? You kind of have to, put the guardrails on yourself. And what this does over time is you start becoming that safer version of yourself, okay? Furthermore, we have unhealthy snacks, okay? So the break room is stocked with loads of snacks that have artificial ingredients, are loaded with added sugar, have inflammatory oils, okay? And are pretty much void of any essential nutrients to actually make us healthy and feel good. Okay, so what we're doing is we're snacking on this stuff throughout the day. Okay, we're eating all these extra calories that aren't actually making us feel satiated, that aren't providing any nutritional value. And that's lending itself towards the physique I mentioned earlier that you likely have if you are watching this video. Okay. And then lastly, I put caffeine dependency. Okay. So we have unlimited free access to coffee. Maybe there's energy drinks in your break room fridge. And just to get throughout the day, you're consuming this. Now, there's nothing inherently bad with a moderate amount of caffeine, but what I see oftentimes with guys I work with is we're dependent on caffeine to get through the day. So we are drinking caffeine after lunch, okay, which is negatively affecting our sleep, which is contributing towards these negative feelings we have here. Now, furthermore, what's further contributing to these unhealthy habits, because my point here is that yes, the corporate environment that I just illustrated isn't the healthiest and plays a role in you feeling bad. But where we truly go wrong is that in order to cope with this corporate environment, we have a host of unhealthy coping habits, okay, that further these negative symptoms mentioned earlier. Okay, so what do these habits look like? TV shows, okay, decompressing from the workday by throwing on your favorite TV show. When the weekend comes, binge watching said TV show. Doom scrolling, okay, this is far too normalized in our culture. We're all fully aware of how negative social media is for your brain. Okay, the short form content, right? It fries your brain. It fries your dopamine circuitry. Excuse me. Yet, are we truly holding ourselves accountable? Are we really making it a point not to use our phone right before bed, not to use our phone first thing in the morning, not to pointlessly check our phone throughout the workday, okay, frying our attention span? Furthermore, alcohol, okay, highly normalized in corporate culture. We're going to have happy hours, with the work crew, with our fellow coworkers. On the weekends, we're maybe getting together with our friends. Any excuse to go to the bars and drink some beer, watch your favorite sports team. I'm not fully anti-alcohol, but again, this is one of those unhealthy coping habits we're just engaging in far too frequently. Furthermore, we have dirty websites. I put triple X websites. We are using these websites to deal with any urges we might have, or maybe to unwind at the end of the day. Very bad for our health, physical and mental. Furthermore, lastly, I have fast food slash junk food. Okay, maybe we are too lazy to cook a meal, so we are door dashing some unhealthy processed food. This could range from anything from straight up McDonald's to even Chipotle. Okay, Chipotle is not the unhealthiest thing, but even Chipotle is not going to be as healthy as cooking for yourself. Okay, it's going to have oils in there that are inflammatory, right? So now that we understand the problem and we firmly understand what is leading to us having these negative symptoms, the framework we ultimately need to understand is that we are primal beings. You are a primal being, okay? So human society has changed, but our brains have stayed roughly the same. In other words, your brain isn't designed for modern life, okay? Your brain isn't designed for this corporate environment. Your brain isn't designed for access to TV shows, to unlimited, highly stimulating short form content, to unlimited supply of alcohol, to a plethora of dirty websites where you could have any woman of your choosing at any moment in time, fast food restaurants on every corner, and apps on your phone that get that food delivered to your doorstep. Okay. So, what is your brain designed for? Right? We talked about this modern world, and navigating that and all these unhealthy things. So, what is your brain designed for? It's designed for physical tasks. Okay. It is designed for natural food that is scarce in nature. Okay. It isn't widely abundant. It's designed for brotherhood. Okay. Ideally engaging in physical tasks with other men. Okay. Time outdoors. Okay. I mentioned artificial lighting for the corporate environment and why it's unhealthy. Your body craves to be outside, to have sun on your skin. Okay. Furthermore, limited stimulation, which makes the real world more stimulating. Okay. What do I mean by this? All of this is highly stimulating. All these coping habits that you're engaging in, highly stimulating for your brain. But the problem is, it's not earned stimulation. Okay. You don't have to actually put in any effort or grit to actually get that dopamine reward. Okay. Now, what happens when you actually abstain from many of these things is the real world becomes more stimulating, and you actually start to feel some sense of presence in your life, some peace, a sense of agency and drive and motivation. Okay? So, now that we know that we are a primal being, what is the solution to our problems? Okay, what is the solution to us being skinny fat, to being overweight, to us being anxious, to us having a subpar dating life? Am I going to tell you to quit your job? No. In fact, that's the last thing I want you to do. You are making six figures a year. This doesn't mean nothing. Okay, I'm very happy that you're making this money. This is a good thing as a man. Okay, being able to provide, being able to accumulate resources is a necessity. And in the modern world we live in, corporate is often going to be the route for you to do that. Now, with that being said, okay, knowing what we know about the corporate environment, instead of engaging in these unhealthy coping habits, we need to replace these with healthy compensating habits. Okay, I'm going to repeat that one more time because this is the most important point for you to understand of this video. In order for us to fix all of these issues, we need to replace our unhealthy coping habits with healthy compensating habits. Now, I use the word compensating because we're compensating for this corporate environment, okay? This corporate environment, as unideal as it might be, at least it's providing us a reward, six-figure salary, okay? Now, in order to make that six-figure salary count for something, right? We want to feel good. We want to have an abundant dating life, okay? We want to have a sense of agency and drive, okay? And in order to accomplish that, we are going to engage in healthy compensating habits, right? So at the end of the workday, instead of going home and sitting on the couch, we have some kind of fitness routine, okay? I'm not saying you need to go out and become a crazy bodybuilder and start counting your calories and eating, taking a bunch of supplements and doing all these things. But you need to recognize, okay, I'm a primal being. I'm designed for a natural world. I need to pick up heavy things off the ground, okay? I have certain unmet needs physically that I need to attend to, okay? And you're gonna do this after work, all right? So, in addition to that, you're going to adopt this philosophy of I'm a primal being. I need to engage in healthy compensating habits. My diet from here on out, I eat the vast majority of the time healthy, natural foods that actually satiate me. Okay? Don't need to overcomplicate this. Fruits, vegetables, protein sources like meat, fish, eggs, chicken, okay? Rice, potatoes, like the foods that humans have been eating for thousands of years, the foods that you can identify in nature, okay? The foods that don't make you feel sick, the foods that don't put on excess body fat, the foods that don't make your skin look like ass, okay? Clean up your diet, right? Understand you are a primal being. Understand your body was designed to eat animal protein, to eat fruit, to eat vegetables, not to eat McDonald's cheeseburgers every day, not to eat bullshit snacks in your break room every day, okay? Not to be drinking caffeine, you know, into the afternoon, right? And then lastly, sleep. Okay, there's three pillars to health. So I kind of talked loosely about diet, eating healthy foods. I talked a little bit about your fitness, making sure to go to the gym, pick up heavy things off the ground, maybe get some cardio in, run, do a little mobility, some stretching, because after all, you are sitting all day. And then lastly is sleep, because none of this counts for anything if you don't sleep. Now you already are sleeping some amount of time, but you're probably going to want to extend this. Okay, you're going to look better, you're going to feel better, your training is going to be better, the way you digest your food is going to be better. So you're going to want to sleep a minimum of 8 hours a day. All right. You don't want to use your phone before bed because that's going to expose you to blue light and make it harder for your brain to actually fall asleep and then also have quality sleep. Okay. So you want a dark room. Like you can look at other videos on my channel where I go more in depth to sleep, to fitness, to nutrition. Okay. But high level, what you need to understand is that you're a primal being. Okay. Making six figures is great, but it's not going to count for anything so long as you are engaging in unhealthy coping habits. You need to replace these unhealthy coping habits with healthy compensating habits that are aligned with the framework of you being a primal being and being designed for a natural world, not this toxic modern world we live in. Now, once you understand this and you start engaging in these healthy compensating habits, you're going to watch yourself get shredded, get in shape, okay? Your vocal tonality is going to change. You're going to have more confidence, okay? You're going to be able to go approach that girl in the bar, okay? And you know what the best part about all of this is? This will benefit your career too, okay? Because when you look better and you feel better, you're going to perform better. And that's going to happen at the workplace as well as every other area of your life, whether it be dating, the gym, etc. Okay? So that's pretty much everything I have in today's video. Now, if you got any value from this video, okay, if you work in corporate and you are unsatisfied with your life and you are ready to go on a health journey to boost your testosterone, to actually take advantage of this chance that is life that you have, what I want you to do is I want you to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and I will see you in the next one.